Hi, it's Gabe over here from Advanced Test Equipment Rentals, and today we're going to be looking at Tesco's new T4350 EVSE tester.
The T4350 is unique because it is battery powered and can pull up to 350 amps sustained and up to 650 amps for up to 5 minutes.
You could either configure it with the main unit and an AC/DC load bank, or optionally you could use it as the main unit with this man-in-the-middle cable and use your EV as the load. Now let's dive right into setting up a measurement. So the first step in setting up your measurement is actually connecting the AC/DC load bank to the T4350 via this interconnect cable. So I'm going to do that now. And then let's move to the front panel. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the T4350 by pressing the on-off switch. Keep in mind, if you need to charge the internal lithium-ion battery, you could connect it using the supplied AC or DC charger that you could connect it to. For our demonstration today, we're going to use an AC level 1 charger that we're going to connect into this port here. So I'm going to do that now. And after I get my charger connected, I can go into the front panel and use these icons to make adjustments. Right now, I currently have it set to the CCS1 AC port type, but I'm going to go into manual mode. And since we have the load bank connected, we're going to do simulation, and we'll get to the man-in-the-middle test later, but let's do simulation. And over here, you can see all the different load tests you're going to perform. The default one has no load, small, large, and a full load. And these are the percentage of the loads. To start the measurement, I'm going to press this F5 key to start it. And as you can see here, it's going to start the first test. And I believe the first one is going to be 1 minute. And then it's going to switch to the next test. So now, the T4350 will ask us to enter a unit price, the kilowatt hours delivered, and total sale. So I'm going to just use an easy number as $1 and hit next. And then hit OK. Test pass. So then we're going to hit continue. And it's going to perform the next test, which now I'm using the AC load bank. Now that our second test finished, we're going to go ahead and enter the kilowatt delivered. And looks like it was 0.0010. Okay. Then hit OK again. Now I'm going to start my third test. Now for our final demonstration, we're going to install the man-in-the-middle cable. So this end is going to be connected to my EV. And I'm going to connect this end to my T4350 one more time. Now I'm going to go into the front panel. So now that we got the man-in-the-middle cable installed, we're going to go back to manual mode, select the man-in-the-middle setting, and then we're going to leave it on iteration 1, leave the time as 10 minutes. It lets you actually select the configuration and VIN number of your vehicle, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now. Hit OK. And when I begin testing, it will start saying it's measuring now. And once you're done with your test report, we're going to show you how to download the results. So now that we did the man-in-the-middle and the standard test, I could go through some of the other options. So here we have the sequence selector. So I can go in and create custom test sequences if I wanted to. I can look at the database of chargers that I have within the unit that I could add new chargers if I wanted. Go back, I can click on preferences and see some of the configuration. Here's the general options where I can adjust the screen brightness, the time, date, area, all that good stuff. The user info. We have different testing options, whether it's an acceptance test or maintenance. Calibration settings, whether you want the instrument to tell you when the calibration dates are due. We got the system settings where you can see temperature configuration settings, which is a very nice feature of the Tesco. We have software and firmware versions. We can go back and now let's jump right into the exporting of the data. So now that we're in the test results screen, you could actually input the unit price, how many kilowatts were delivered, and the total sale. So you could compare it to the charger. For this example, I'm just going to leave it at $1 per kilowatt hour, but keep in mind we had it as a no load, so we're not going to have much information on this particular test. And now that we're done here, I'll hit continue and it'll start the next test, which is going to be a little more current. As you can see here, the load kicked on and we're drawing about 0.5 amp at 115 volts. So we'll let the test run for a minute now. So now that we're done with this second test, I'm going to go into the menu and I'm going to make sure I plug in the kilowatts of energy that are delivered here. So it's 0.0010 and then hit OK. Now I'm going to hit continue and it'll do the third test. And now for this test, we're going to be drawing about 1.2 amps of current. And now same thing for this one. We're going to go in here and change the kilowatt hours delivered. And run our fourth test. And for this test, we're drawing about 12 amps of current. Now for same thing, we're gonna put in how much got delivered here. And depending on how much your charger was displaying, it'll give you all the results here. And you can review the different tests. You can go back and you can save the test to the internal memory. And now we're going to go into downloading the test reports. So first I'm going to connect an Ethernet cable onto this port here. Then I'm going to go into the preferences button, then the general button, and then from there the network button. And from here you could plug in your IP address, and then once you get that configured, we're going to hit apply, and we're going to switch over to the computer at this point. And now we're going to open up the Tesco Device Manager software and follow the mouse and all the prompts we're going to go through.